Hi, welcome to Learning SQL Basics in 7 minutes. Let me tell you SQL Basics that you have to know. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, which is to store, manipulate, and retrieve data in databases. SQL is used in many database systems like MySQL, SQL Server, MS Access, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, Postgres, and so on. What can we do using SQL? Using SQL, we can execute queries against a database. For example, we can retrieve, insert, update, delete data. Besides, we are able to create new databases and new tables, and we can set permissions on tables, procedures, and views. How can we use SQL to show data in our website? First, you need RDMBS. RDMBS is Relational Database Management System. Database programs such as MS Access, SQL Server, and MySQL. Second, service-side scripting languages like PHP, JSP, and ASP should be used. Third, you can use SQL to get data. Fourth, you can HTML, CSS to style the page. The select statement is used to select data from a database. You are able to see a result table called the result set. You can select some columns you want. If you want to select all columns, simply use star. In addition, you can set a condition to retrieve information you want. For example, if you want to select students' names who are over 20 years old, you can use a statement like above. Using SQL insert statement, you can insert data into a database. The syntax is like this. This example shows inserting a student whose name is Eric, who is 18 years old, whose grade is A. Using SQL update statement, you are able to modify the existing data in a table. If you want to update Andrew's grade into A, you may use like above. Using SQL delete statement, you are able to delete records in a table. When deleting, you should set a condition. If you want to delete students who are over 20 years old, you can write a statement like this example. SQL provides some functions to retrieve a specific value. For example, mean, max, count, average, sum. A wildcard character is to substitute one or more characters in a string. It is used with the SQL-like operator. There are several wildcards like percentage and underscore. Percentage represents 0 or more characters, and underscore represents a single character. SQL statements provide and, or, and not operators. Sql In operator allows us to specify multiple values in a where clause. SQL provides the between operator, selecting values within a given range. SQL not value is a field with no value. We can test for null values. SQL aliases are to give a table or a column in a table a temporary name. It only exists for the duration of the query. SQL group by statement groups rows that have the same values into summary rows, so it is often used with aggregate functions like count to group the result set by columns. SQL order by keyword is to sort the result set in ascending or descending order. It sorts the records in ascending order by default. SQL having clause is for aggregate functions because the where keyword cannot be used with the aggregate functions. SQL exists operator is to test for existence of any record in a subquery. It returns true if the subquery returns one or more records. Join clauses are used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column among them. There are some join clauses: inner join, left join, right join, full join. Let's assume there are two tables, students and assignments. There is the same column's name, student ID. If you want to retrieve three columns, student ID, name, mark, you have to use join clause to select data. If you want to uh, retrieve the column student ID name mark, you have to use join class to select data. The left join returns all records from the left table, the table 1, and the matched records from the right table, table 2. The right join returns all records from the right table, table 2, and the matched records from the left table, table 1. The for outer join returns all records when there is a match in table 1 or table 2 records. Full join can be used. SQL create database is to create a new SQL database. The syntax is like this. SQL drop database is to drop an existing SQL database. SQL backup database statement is to create a full backup of an existing SQL database. SQL create table statement is to create a new table in a database. There are some data types for creating table. You can use char, varchar, int, float, and so on. Char is fixed length, but varchar is variable length. SQL drop table statement is to drop an existing table in a database. SQL alter table statement is to add, delete, or modify columns in an existing table. In order to add a column, you are able to use alter table statement using add keyword. SQL constraints are to specify rules for data in a table. There are many constraints like this example. Primary key is to identify each record in a table, so it must contain unique values and cannot contain null values. There are 3 examples of primary key above. SQL following key is a key used to link two tables together, so it refers to the primary key in another table. Take a look at this example. There are 2 tables, students and assignments. Student ID is the primary key in the students table, but it is the following key in the assignments table. It means in assignments table, it refers the student ID from the students table. This is how to use following key for each. So, we looked through SQL basics in 7 minutes. However, you need to study more and see more examples. Thank you for watching this video.